All right, let's get this thing moving because I want to get me some of them French fried potatoes. Everybody, welcome back to Rattlecan Guitar Restorations. I am James. Yeah, I'm James. And what did we do in guitar building school this week? Well, let me get you caught up on what we did after guitar building school last week and what we did this week. Then we can talk about what we did this week. So, after I got home from class, we did a couple of different things in the shop. I routed a binding channel on my guitar top, and in the process found out that my guitar binding router jig, I need to modify that. I have a cat on a bookshelf. Apologies. The L bracket, it's mounted on an L bracket like this. It's just a piece of aluminum angle is what it looks like. And the part that danglies down below, the bit sticks down like this. There's a part that is hanging down like that, and that interferes. I can't get it in between the neck pocket. Shut up. And the horn. I can't get it in there, so I had to chisel that whole thing by hand. So I'm going to have to modify that. That'll be a whole different episode. But we got it routed. We got the binding in there using the Stumac binding glue. Not in love with it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. But we got it done. I did some testing with compatibility of the Trans-Tint dye in an alcohol carrier and the binding. Am I going to be able to get that pigment off of there? Is it going to bleed through? What's it like? What's the glue squeeze out do? So we did tests. Always do tests. The bean plate for the control cavity, that got covered and then that got stained. Then we got the binding glued on. There was a spot I was not happy about on the top part of the neck pocket, so I cut it out and I did it over again. And working with plastic binding is more differenter than working with wooden binding, because that's my experience, is using wooden binding on acoustic guitars, not plastic binding on electric guitars. So kind of similar, but different. Kind of like different hot sauces. Sriracha is different than ghost peppers, different than Tabasco. Then, that got us up to class this week. We got the neck and the fretboard. The neck that you get is a paddle shape. And so we had to design our headstock shape, and then cut that out on the bandsaw. Now, a number of the people in our class are not woodworkers, so my instructor was trying to get people up to speed on finishing techniques, because they're trying to get finish on bodies so they can learn the process, so they can come in on a Saturday, put a coat on right as they leave, hopefully come back middle of the week, put another coat on. They're doing some sanding in between. He's doing that, and I'm just helping people run bandsaws and come out with all of these. Phalanges are good in the number that you were issued them. So spend a little bit of time doing that, doing some teaching. Then I finally got around to cutting my headstock out. Mine is a modified, since this is a Telly-esque style, I decided to do a Telly-esque style headstock. My guitar also has some really nice figure on it, and I wanted to keep as much of that wood on that headstock as I could, just because I like the way it looks. So I'll put the two up here. You can kind of compare and contrast as you see fit. And then we came back and then started putting stain on, and got I did 2 coats of Trans-Tint in denatured alcohol, more than sufficient. I did a very light sanding after the first coat. After the second coat, I just wiped it down. And as of the making of this video on Monday mid-afternoon, I've got 1, 2, 3 coats of clear. And if you have followed the channel, my definition of a coat is I will take 3 light passes, about, depending on weather conditions, 20 or 30 minutes apart. And those 3 passes constitute a coat. So if I have enough time in the morning, I can do 3 light passes. If I'm home during the day, I can do another pass after lunch, or another. Ooh, sleepy. If I'm home during the day, I can do another 3 passes in the afternoon. Once I get home in the evening, I can do another 3 passes in the evening. So in theory, I can get 3 coats a day. And after every other coat, I will go over it if I've got a blemish, if I've got a pimple on it, or piece of something. We'll go in, we'll shave that off with a razor blade with a couple of pieces of tape on it, and then give it a very, very light sanding. I am using a foam-backed sandpaper pad. I bought a whole bunch of these in Japan. I can't even tell. I think they're a 3M product, but all the writing's Japanese. So it says it's somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500. I'm just trying to sand down the high spots. And I'll hit it with a tack cloth, and then we'll go back again. I'm using urethane, spar urethane. It's a water-based urethane. It's designed for outdoor use. It says it's UV resistant. I've used it on a couple of outdoor sign projects, and it's doing well. So we'll see if this experiment works. I told you, this whole guitar is just one big gigantic experiment. And then I decorated the inside of the bean cover to commemorate the event that's going on right now. So anyways, that's what I did this week in guitar building class. Next week we are going to make sure that our guitar necks fit inside of our neck pockets. And then we are going to set the scale length. These are built to be a 25.5 inch scale length. And there's a process for making sure that that scale length is correct. Then once we have that set, then we will be able to glue the neck, the fretboard onto the neck, let that sit, and then we'll be off to fretting and shaping and sanding. And I'm sure there'll be 9 million hours of sanding in there somewhere. So anyways, be sure to check guitarbuilding.org to see if there's a class near you, or if you're interested, contact them. You may be able to start a class in your area. I know this program is going like gangbusters right now, because the guys in production are up to about right here trying to get stuff out. So apparently they're doing something right. Anyways, I'm James. This is Rattlecan Guitar Restorations. Ordered some custom water slide decals too. We'll see. Those might be in this week. We'll give it a shot. We're going to drill for inlay dots too. Anyways, I'm James. You guys have a great day. Remember, if I can do it, you can do it. Cheers. Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon here at Rattlecan Guitar Restorations. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to click my beautiful face above. Hit the bell to be notified next time we drop a video. Here's a video that the Hive Mind has picked out especially for you. And remember, if I can do it, you can do it. You guys have a great weekend. Shut up, cat. Cheers.